Nonna's Blessing, another story from Rafael Sparkles, still unknown but undeniably fabulous. Or at least that's what he keeps telling himself. When Luca suggested a simple dinner to tell Nonna the big news, Devon blinked twice and reached for the wine like it was a seatbelt. "It'll be cozy," Luca said cheerfully, chopping basil like it owed him rent. "Just us and her, no drama." "You say that," Devon muttered, "as if you didn't invite a Sicilian nonna into our apartment to feed her store-bought cannoli and a lasagna you made with oat milk ricotta." "It's artisanal," Luca protested. "It's a crime." Still, he looked annoyingly gorgeous in an apron that read, "Kiss the Chef," and Devon loved him enough to risk it all, including his intestines, for this moment. By the time Nonna arrived, the apartment looked like the gayest Roman trattoria on earth. Fairy lights, fresh flowers, the smell of garlic. "Ciao, bambini!" Nonna sang as she shuffled in, rosary in one hand, a bottle of red wine in the other. 5'0", wrapped in fur despite the July heat, and smelling faintly of holy water and hairspray. She kissed Luca in both cheeks and eyed Devon like she was trying to decide whether to hug him or interrogate his credit score. "Mamma mia! Look at this table!" she exclaimed, sitting down with flair. "Like something from Vogue, con mozzarella." Luca beamed. Devon sweated. The lasagna gurgled ominously in the oven. Dinner began with light chatter. Luca poured wine. Nonna told the story about a priest who got stung by bees during Mass, giggling, "The Lord has a sense of humor." Devon figured if Jesus could pull off water into wine, maybe he could upgrade this lasagna from oat milk disaster to edible miracle. And then, with the solemn grace of a man presenting his firstborn to the gods of carbs and family approval, Luca placed the lasagna on the table and cleared his throat. "Nonna, we wanted to tell you something important." She paused, fork halfway to her mouth. "We're getting married." A beat. Then she gasped, dropped her fork, and crossed herself so fast she nearly slapped the salt shaker. Devon froze. Nonna stared. Then tears. "Finalmente!" she cried. "I've had Father Giuseppe on hold for 3 years. He says marrying 2 men is the easiest job he's got. No one's arguing over flowers, and everyone brings Prosecco." "You're not upset?" Luca asked, blinking. "Amore es amore," she declared, pounding the table. "The Pope doesn't have to come to the wedding, but I will be there in sequins." Devon let out a sigh that could have powered a small fan. They laughed, they toasted. Nonna got misty-eyed. It was perfect. Until she took a bite. It happened slowly. First, her eyes widened. Then her face stopped moving entirely, as if her soul had momentarily left her body. She chewed once more, like someone trying to remember what joy felt like. She swallowed. Then she made the sign of the cross again. Luca beaming. "Well?" Nonna blinked. "Tell me, caro, was this a recipe or a modern art project?" Luca's smile faltered. "It's vegan, gluten, flexitarian. Your great-grandmother made lasagna for the resistance. This would not have inspired anyone, except maybe to surrender." Devon subtly pushed his portion under the table with his fork. Nonna reached for her wine, drank, paused, then turned to Devon with the gravitas of a Vatican envoy. "I love you," she said firmly. "You are handsome, you are kind, and you have excellent bone structure." Devon blinked. "Thank you. But I must ask you not to marry him." Luca choked on his wine. "Nonna!" "Until," she continued sternly, "he learns to make a proper lasagna." She stood, kissed both their cheeks, and pulled a handwritten recipe from her purse like a papal decree. 2 hours later, the lasagna was in the trash, the wine was gone, and Nonna had left in a taxi with a parting shout of "No basil before béchamel!" Luca slumped on the couch, defeated. "I thought she was going to be upset about us being gay." "Nope," Devon said, curling up beside him. "She's not mad we're engaged. She's just morally opposed to bad pasta." Luca groaned. "What if she never forgives me?" Devon held up the recipe. "She will, but first, you're going to learn to layer like your Nonna and every Italian grandmother since the Roman Empire." Luca grinned. "Fine, but only if you grate the cheese shirtless. Deal." If this made you laugh or crave Italian food, subscribe now. It's cheaper than therapy and twice as fabulous.